Hello students, we have already started chemical kinetics. In chemical kinetics, we have seen the rate of reaction and the instantaneous rate of reaction, is it? After that, average rate of a chemical reaction and how to find out the instantaneous rate from the graphical representation, is it? All these, how the concentration affects the rate of the reaction. So these things we have already seen in the last video. Okay, now let us start today. That is a rate and concentration of the reactants. Rate and concentration of the reactants. Okay, already we have seen what is the rate of a chemical reaction. What is the rate of the chemical reaction? The decrease in the concentration of the reactant or increase in the concentration of product per unit time is the rate of a chemical reaction, and it is simply represented as in terms of concentration of the reactants, that is dC upon dt, where dC is the small change in concentration with respect to time dt. Okay, so here now let's just see rate and concentration of a reactant. Okay, rate law. First of all, let us see rate law. What is the rate law, or it is also called as differential rate law, is it? See, what is the rate law? A rate law is defined as an experimentally determined mathematical equation. A rate law is the experimentally determined mathematical equation which expresses the rate of reaction in terms of molar concentration of the reactants, which influences the rate of a reaction. So rate law is the mathematical equation or expression which is experimentally determined. Consider the general equation, that is A of A plus B of B gives C of C plus D of D. These are A and B are the reactants and C and D are the products. The rate of a chemical reaction at a given time is proportional to its molar concentration at that time raised to simple powers and the powers of the concentration terms not necessarily equal to the stoichiometric coefficients. Okay, see this, I will read this statement again, but before this you just, rate of a chemical reaction is directly proportional to A raised to X, B raised to Y, where X and Y are not the coefficient of A and B, right? So this is the see what you say, the statement. The rate of a reaction at a given time is proportional to, see here, a rate of a chemical reaction at a given time is proportional to its molar concentration at that time raised to simple powers, and the powers of concentration term are not necessarily equal to stoichiometric coefficients. So this is the rate law. Now removing this proportionality constant, we put K, where K is the proportionality constant, is it? K is that K is called as rate constant, where X and Y may be integers, fraction or zero. These, the powers X and Y may be integers, fraction or zero, okay, and not necessarily equal to stoichiometric coefficients A and B respectively. Okay, so thus rate law is determined experimentally, keep in mind, and expresses the rate of a chemical reaction in terms of molar concentration of reactants. Now see here K is there, but see, K is equals to rate constant. When if A and B are one unit concentration, then K is equals to rate of reaction. Rate of a rate constant K. When A and B have a unit concentration, then A is equals to B is equals to 1 moles per dm cube, then K is equals to rate. This K is equals to rate. So therefore rate constant is defined as, the rate constant is also called as velocity or specific rate of reaction, is defined as the rate of a chemical reaction when the concentration of the reactants has unit value. has a unit value. Okay, this is the definition of rate constant. Okay. Now see, writing the rate law. We are going to practice some examples of the how to write the. See here, consider this equation. H2 gaseous plus I2 reacts to I2 gaseous to give 2HI hydrogen iodide. Now the rate law is written as R is equals to K into the concentration of H2 into concentration of I2. How? Experimentally it is observed that the rate of the reaction is proportional to the concentration of H2 as well as I2. That's why rate is equals to K into concentration of H2 into concentration of I2. Now next example. 2 molecules of H2O2 hydrogen peroxide to give 2H2O plus O2. The equation is this, right? Now here coefficient is 2, but there is no power. Power is 1. So experimentally it is observed that the rate of the reaction is proportional to the concentration of H2O2. So R is equals to K into H2O2. Okay. Now the next is NO2 plus CO. It gives NO plus CO2, right? But the equation is here two reactants are reacting. But in the rate law, only one reactant is taken, right? Why? Experimentally it is observed that the rate of the reaction is proportional to the concentration of NO2 and not on the concentration of CO. That's why rate law is rate is equals to K into the concentration of only NO2, right? Okay, so this is how to write the rate law. Actually this fact depends upon the experimental observation. It is clear. Now order of a reaction. What is order of a reaction? Now as usual, consider the general equation, right? A plus B gives C plus D and small a, B, C are the coefficients. Now rate law is written as rate is equals to K into A raised to X, concentration of A raised to X and B raised to Y, right? Previously we have seen. Now here in this equation, the power sum of this power X plus Y, the sum X plus Y gives overall order of the reaction, right? Therefore, order of a chemical reaction is defined as the sum of the powers to which the concentration term of reactants are raised in the rate law equation. So this is the definition of the rate, that is order of a chemical reaction. Okay. Now see, let us see some example from which we can get clear idea about the order. Okay. Now see H2, 2H2O2 gives 2H2O plus O2. This is the chemical equation. Experimentally determined rate law is rate is equals to K into concentration of H2O2, power is 1. Here is coefficient 2, power is 1. Right? The reaction is of first order. The exponent of the concentration term is 1. That's what the order is 1. Now your next example is given, that is H2 reacts with I2 to give 2HI. The rate law is written as rate is equals to K into concentration of H2 into concentration of I2. Here the power of H2 is 1. Here the power of concentration of I2 is 1. Therefore exponent, the sum of the exponent is equals to 1 plus 1 is 2. The reaction is of first order in H2 and first order in I2 each. Hence overall order of the reaction is 2, and that's why it is called as second order reaction. Okay. Now the next example, 2NO reacts with 2H2. Okay. To give N2 plus 2H2. Right. This example particularly you see how in the case of rate law writing, how the coefficients are not equal, may or may not be equal to the powers of the concentration term in the rate law, is it? See here, rate is equals to, it is found that the rate is directly proportional to the concentration of both. but the second order in this and first order in this. That's why 2 plus 1 is 3, third order reaction. The reaction is second order in NO and first order in H2. Hence overall order of the reaction is 3, and so it is third order. Okay, this is the order of the reaction. Okay, the sum of the powers of the exponents in the rate law of concentration term is the order of a reaction. Okay, now let us see molecularity of a reaction. It is a simple concept. Molecularity of a reaction. Okay, what is the molecularity of a reaction? Now this molecularity of elementary reaction. Molecularity of a elementary reaction. Let us see what is this. There are two types of reaction. One is elementary reaction and another is complex reaction. What is elementary reaction? The reaction which takes place in a single step, completed in a single step. Elementary reaction are those reaction which occurs in a single step and cannot be broken down into simple reactions. That means it does not occur in the number of steps. Okay, that is the elementary reaction occurs in the single step only. Now what is complex reaction? Complex reaction are those reactions which occur in number of steps through step. That means it takes 2 steps, 3 steps for its completion. That's why complex reaction are those which constitute a series of elementary reaction. Now what is molecularity? In a elementary reaction, the number of reacting molecules is called molecularity of a reaction. Now see the examples. O3, ozone, decomposed to give O2 and O2. So only one molecule. That means what is the coefficient of ozone molecule? It is 1. That's why it is a unimolecular reaction. Next example, 2NO2, decomposed to give 2NO and O2. Number of molecules undergoing the decomposition are 2. That's why it is a bimolecular reaction. Here the number of molecules reacting are 3, 2NO and 1 O2. That's why it is trimolecular reaction. What is molecularity? In an elementary reaction, the number of reacting molecules, that may be atoms or ions, is called as that is molecularity of a reaction. See some reactions here taken where order and molecularity are same. Here that is 2NO to give 2NO2 and O2. Rate law is written like this way. That's why it is bimolecular reaction. 2 molecules are there. That's why it is bimolecular reaction and the power is 2. That's why it is a second order reaction. The next C2H5I to give C2H4 plus HI. So only one molecule. So it is unimolecular reaction and first order reaction. Okay. But in other cases, in somewhere in some cases you can find the order and molecularity will be same. Now if you see this example here, 2NO reacts with 2H2, right? Here the number of molecules reacting are 2 plus 2 are 4. Number of molecules are 4. Okay. And the order is 2 plus 1 is 3. That means here molecularity and order are different. Okay. Now let us see what is rate determining step in the chemical kinetics. Many reaction takes place in a series of elementary steps. Okay, that means which are called as complex reactions. Many reactions, that is complex reactions, takes place in a series of elementary steps, among which one of the step is slowest step, which is called as rate determining step. Now the slowest step in the reaction mechanism of complex reaction is called as the rate determining step. Here example is given, the reaction, that is the example of reaction which occurs in 2 steps. It needs 2 steps for its completion. Now 2NO2Cl Twice of NO2Cl decomposed to give 2 NO2 plus Cl2. These are the products. But this is not a single step reaction. It takes 2 steps for its completion to get these products. What are these steps? In the first step, NO2Cl, one molecule, single molecule, to give NO2 plus Cl, gaseous. In the second step, another molecule reacts with this Cl, the product of first step, to give NO2 plus Cl2. Okay, it takes 2 steps to give the final product. So here, overall reaction I have written. So a rate law for this reaction is written as K into NO2Cl. Okay, K into NO2Cl. Though the molecules are 2, but the order is 1, right? Here the first step is slow and it is rate determining step. The first step is slow step, that's why it is a rate determining step. Okay, now see reaction intermediate. What is reaction intermediate? Okay, here you see chlorine is produced, Cl, okay, gaseous is produced in the first step and it is consumed in the second step, right? So this is the reaction intermediate. Okay, now let us see. The additional species form other than the reactants or products in the mechanism and whose concentration does not affects in the rate law is called as reaction intermediate. In the above reaction, Cl is formed in the first step and consumed in the second step. Such species is the reaction intermediate. So this is all about the rate determining step and reaction intermediate. So you just study all these points: rate and concentration of reactants, rate law, okay, order of the reaction, and molecularity of the reaction, how to write the rate law for a given chemical equation, is it? So all these points you just study with the notes and go through the textbook also. Have a nice day.